States. Nadia herself, we mentioned, is in town here. In fact, today, just today, she was named to the Athletes Commission of the International Olympic Committee. Now we're going to turn the subject to swimming. Lots of live action, gold medals to be awarded out there tonight. First, I believe, is going to be the men's 100-meter butterfly. On the scene, Jim Lampley. Okay, Jim.
All right, Jim, we are live here at the Olympic swimming pool on the campus of USC, where we had excitement last night with Americans winning 4 gold medals in 4 events, stopped from a sweep only by the performance of Mikhail Gross of West Germany. We're going to see 5 events tonight, 4 individual events, 2 each for women and men, and the men's 4x200-meter freestyle relay. And again, of course, I'll be working with 2 of the greatest names in American swimming, Mark Spitz and Donna Deverona. Mark, let's talk to you first. First event we're going to see is the men's 100-meter butterfly. An American is favored to win the gold medal. Pablo Morales, who is most often compared with the man who held the world record in the 100-meter butterfly for more than 10 years, Mark Spitz. What do you think of Morales and his chances against Mikhail Gross?
You know, I think earlier in the prelims, he had a good opportunity to break the world record. He fell just short, but breaking my old 12-year mark in the Olympic record. And I was sure that was going to go by the wayside in the prelims if you watch that show. He is going to be heavily contested by Michael Gross from West Germany. Keep in mind, Michael won the 200 meters freestyle last night, a new world record. He is also the world record holder in the 200 meters butterfly. He has proved to Morales that he can swim the butterfly, and he's going to be on the heels of Morales tonight. Now, in the 400 individual medley, we've got Alex Baumann, the world record holder from Canada, who swam a very tactical race in the morning, Jim. And we had Kostov from the United States swimming neck and neck with him. He was just touched out in the prelims. So Kostov is really going to have to swim fast and change his tactics possibly by going out a little bit earlier in the beginning of the race.
All right, Mark, those are the individual events. We'll also see a different American relay team from the one which broke the world record in the 4x200-meter freestyle relay earlier today, and they will try to lower it once again and beat the West Germans, who will have Gross anchoring. Women's events, we'll be working again, of course, with Donna Deverona. Donna, we strive for objectivity here, but I hope that you and I can be forgiven a small sentimental attachment to Cynthia Woodhead in the women's 200-meter freestyle.
Yes, Jim, I'm sure she'd like to make it 3 for 3 in the women's event and become the 3rd of 7 returnees from the 1980 team to win a gold medal. Her biggest competition will come from her teammate, Mary Wade. Now, let's think about the women's 200-meter breaststroke. That could be anybody's race because only 2 seconds separate first from 8th place. And everybody's wondering if that little Belgian swimmer, 15-year-old Ingrid Lamperoux, will do. She dropped 7 seconds to qualify for first place, and we're depending also on American Susan Rapp to get us a medal.
Rapp has the most international experience in the field, and some people believe that she should be the favorite. But the first race we're going to see of the 5 finals here tonight is the men's 100-meter butterfly. And who better to describe the beautiful butterfly stroke than Mark Spitz?
Here we see the butterfly stroke from a viewpoint underwater. In the butterfly, there's a dolphin kick that's used. This kick is extremely strong and effective in the butterfly stroke. Here, coming off the turn, it's important not to breathe the first stroke coming off of the wall because of the big wave that was created going in. Now, from a head-on shot, you see the typical hourglass stroke. Wide at the beginning, tucked into the waist for a nice arm recovery. It's very important to keep your rhythm going, breathing every other stroke. Now into this turn, you must align your arms even, touch with both hands on the wall, as right now. Tuck tight, push off. Notice that the legs cross over for a more streamlined effect. The butterfly, perhaps the most demanding stroke of them all.
And now the finalists for the 100-meter butterfly are getting ready to leave the waiting room. Pablo Morales there on the floor, collecting himself for the effort, which you will see in just a moment. Now we are back live at the Olympic swimming pool and ready for the final of the men's 100-meter butterfly. The Olympic record in the event was established earlier today by Pablo Morales in qualifying. Morales also the world record holder, a record he set at the United States Olympic trials a month ago. The story of how he started swimming is an interesting one. He told it earlier to Donna Deverona.
Pablo, how did you get involved in the sport of swimming?
It's a story I like to tell. It's a story that goes back to the days of my mom in Cuba when she was a little girl. She was swimming in the ocean with some friends, or she was on a raft actually, and she wasn't a very good swimmer. In fact, I don't think she even knew how to swim. And somewhere or another, the raft tipped and she was in the water. And she couldn't swim, obviously. She was thrashing about, and she thought she was going to die. But she doesn't, to this day, she says she doesn't know how she made it to the shore, but she made it. And she vowed from that day on that if she ever had kids, that they would learn to swim. And it's a story I like to tell, but it's true.
As you gather from that narrative, Morales is the son of Cuban immigrant parents. He has asked me not to use the word refugee to describe him, and I am more than happy to honor that request. So Morales will be swimming in lane 4 in the middle of the pool, and Mark Spitz, what's fascinating about this is the fact that he will be swimming directly next to Mikhail Gross of the Federal Republic of Germany, and that will be one heck of a battle to watch. Now let's look at all 8 lanes. In lane 1, Anthony Moss, 19 years old from New Zealand, doesn't figure to challenge here, although he's one of the better young 200-meter butterflyers in the world, and we may see him in medal contention in that race. Lane 2, Bent Barron of Finspång, Sweden, best known as the 1980 Olympic gold medalist in the 100-meter backstroke. He's a graduate of the University of California. Lane 3, Rafael Vidal, 20 years old from Venezuela, a member of the NCAA championship swimming team at the University of Florida. He won the bronze medal in last year's Pan American Games in this event, but is probably better at 200 meters. Lane 4, Morales. He came into this year with his primary challenger for supremacy among American butterflyers being Matt Gribble, who held the world record at that time. Gribble did not make it to the final, bothered by a bad back, so Morales now stands alone as the top American butterfly sprinter. Lane 5, Mikhail Gross. Last night you saw him lower his own world record in the 200-meter freestyle. He is also the world record holder in the 200-meter butterfly, and he is certainly a threat to Whit Morales for the gold medal here. It is said by some that American swimmers, and indeed others, are intimidated by Gross's size. He's more than 6 feet 7 inches tall. We'll see if it bothers Morales. Lane 6, Andrew Jameson, 19 years old from Great Britain, better known as a backstroker until the last few months. Lane 7, Glenn Buchanan, 21 years old from Australia, ranked only 16th in the world last year in this event, but he's the Australian national record holder, and the swimmers of that nation have been swimming very impressively here in the 2 days of Olympic competition so far. And in lane 8, Andreas Barron from the Federal Republic of Germany is a distant second to Mikhail Gross among all West German butterfly swimmers. So those are the 8 swimmers. Quite obviously, what you expect is the confrontation we have been talking about all along. There are the numbers on Morales. 53.78 is the Olympic record from qualifying this morning. The world record is 53.38. And Mark Spitz, Morales against Gross.
I think Pablo's thinking what it's going to take to win this race. And I really think that he's thinking that it's going to take a world record. But it's very difficult for him to concentrate on breaking a world record. He's got to stick with his game plan, thinking about his stroke, thinking about everything that he's learned over the last couple of years, especially the feeling that he had the last time he broke the world record.
As you looked at the two of them there, of course, it was Morales on the left and Gross on the right. Much is made of Gross's wingspan. We mentioned it last night, 7 feet 6 inches from fingertip to fingertip. It is worth noting that the lane ropes are 8 feet 2.5 inches apart. So if he were to spread his arms all the way out, he could almost touch both ropes. And Gross has gotten off to a good start and taken the lead early.
In the prelims, Pablo Morales had a faster time at the 50-meter mark by 21/100ths of a second. And the starter gave a very fast and quick start here, and it may have caught Morales on the blocks a little bit. Now, Morales has used up about the last 20 meters of this first 50 meters to try to catch Gross. Now, Morales came out of the turn first. He's really going well right now.
What a remarkable turn. They're under world record pace. Pablo Morales is in command if he can hold on. Here comes Gross. They are only inches apart in the middle of the pool, and Morales can feel every one of Gross's strokes. 20 meters to go. Mark, who do you like?
Morales has moved over to the right side of the lane. This may cost him a little bit of time. He's being miffed by
Gross is past him. Gross is going to touch him first. Absolutely. Mikhail Gross in a time of 53.08. A new world record has beaten world record holder Pablo Morales. And Morales also swam under his previous world record, but it wasn't enough. Second gold medal for the Albatross.
I'm telling you, I think that Pablo made a mistake in the last 10 meters. He moved over to the right side. He thought that he could draft. It's a technique used in training, and it cost him a little bit of rhythm in his stroke. You can see how disappointed he is, yet he broke the world record. Here we can see on the super slow-mo. Gross actually moved away from him, a smart move. Gross moved to his right because he was being crowded because of his long arm span coming down to the finish. These red lane lines indicate that they only have 5 meters to go. And at that one point, it appeared that Morales was ahead.
They are similar in age as you look at the finish. Gross is 20, Morales is 19, but there is a much wider gap than that in international experience. Gross has been to many more big international meets than Morales, and that may have been the difference there. As an apparent tactical error, according to Mark Spitz,
Ladies and gentlemen, the board is now
cost
official.
Pablo Morales a chance to stay with Mikhail Gross as they came down to the wall. Now, we'll be returning to our Olympic coverage, and of course, we'll have more as the evening goes on from here at the pool after this word from our local stations.
Well, on that exercise that you saw of Julianne McNamara, she received a mark of 9.90, an outstanding mark. Later, we hope to show you the Americans on the beam and the floor exercises, compulsory exercises which took place a little bit earlier today. We'll be seeing live, remember, tonight, the Romanians and the Chinese women. Well, right now, we're going to go back to the swimming stadium. More action coming up live. Let's go to Jim Lampley.
All right, back on the campus of Southern Cal at the swimming pool where just moments ago the anthem of the Federal Republic of Germany was played to honor Mikhail Gross for his second individual gold medal and his second brand new world record of these games. Gross stood on the victory stand. The silver medal was awarded, of course, to Pablo Morales of the United States, and the bronze went to Glenn Buchanan of Australia. Second time in as many days of competition here, the 20-year-old from Frankfurt, whom they call the Albatross, squinted happily into the late afternoon sunshine to look at his nation's flag as it was raised over this pool. Now we're ready for the second event on today's calendar, the women's 200-meter freestyle final. And the favorite in the event is 20-year-old Cynthia Woodhead of Riverside, California. She is there on the right, issuing a pat on the back to her friend and teammate, 19-year-old Mary Waite of Mercer Island, Washington. Sippy Woodhead, only 20 years old, but don't let that fool you. She has been a big-time national swimmer ever since she was 12 years old. Qualified to swim in the 1976 Olympic trials, the year that she graduated from elementary school. Earlier, Donna Deverona talked to her about her experience.
Sippy, you look back at your long career and the world records you've set and the experience you had at the World Championships in 1978. How has that helped prepare you for this summer?
I think I'm ready for anything. I'm used to all types of competition, and I'm used to tense situations. And I mean, we were put under a lot of stress in '78 when I was only 14. I mean, before a relays, they were saying, well, Sippy, it's up to you. You're going to have half a second lead, and it's up to you. If you win it, that's it. You know, and I was like, oh, okay. You know, so I'm used to things like this.
You talk about concentration. How do you put that together in a race?
I think I've had to practice concentrating all year. Even before my 200 free at trials, I had to think of, I was sitting there going, well, if I don't make the team, then I'm going to go here and here and here, and this is what I'm going to do with my time. I had to say, wait a minute, I have to think about making the team. And I think the same attitude I have to use in the pool is thinking about what I'm doing right then for the next, hopefully under 2 minutes. And I just have to concentrate on that and forget about what I'm going to eat for dinner that night or who I'm going to go out with or things like that.
It is precisely because of Woodhead's experience that I, for one, call her the favorite in this event, as opposed to Mary Waite, who will be next to her in lane 4. Waite was the leading qualifier, and Cynthia Woodhead, it appeared to me, was relaxed in preliminaries. Lane 1, Ina Betterman of the Federal Republic of Germany, check it, Bayerman, I should say, qualified slowly and has something left, but probably can't go under 2 minutes, which is what it would take to win a medal. Lane 2, Connie van Bentum of Barneveld, Holland, one of 2 Dutch swimmers in the field. She ranked number 4 in the world in this event a year ago. Just missed earning a medal in the 100-meter freestyle last night. She was touched out for the bronze by her teammate, Anne-Marie Verstappen. Lane 3, June Croft of Great Britain, regarded as perhaps the premier challenger to Woodhead and Waite coming into the event. She ranked 6th in the 1980 Olympics and was 3rd in the world in this particular year coming into the Olympic competition. There is 19-year-old Mary Waite of Mercer Island, Washington, and the University of Florida, the fastest qualifier for today's race, and the 1983 American champion, and she looks very relaxed and contented as she gets ready for this Olympics final. Now, Cynthia Woodhead will be swimming next to her in lane 5, and at this moment, at least from external appearances, I think you would have to say that she does not look quite as collected as Mary Waite. Former world record holder, she held the world record in this event for almost 6 years, between 1978 and this year. It was broken earlier this year by Kristen Otto of the German Democratic Republic. Lane 6 is Michelle Pearson, 22 years old, from Australia, 5th in the 100-meter freestyle event earlier in the competition, and trying to become the 4th Australian to win a swimming medal in the 2 days of competition. Lane 7, we mentioned her a moment ago, Anne-Marie Verstappen of Rosmalen, Holland, 1982 world champion in this event when she was 16 years old. She upset the East Germans in those world championships at Guayaquil, Ecuador, and won the bronze medal earlier in the 100-meter freestyle. In lane 8, Anna McVan, 15 years old, from Australia, showing some talent to qualify into this 200-meter race because she's regarded as much better at 400 and 800-meter races, the longer races. The Olympic record in the event held by the great Barbara Krause of the German Democratic Republic. The world record is held by Kristen Otto, who would have been the favorite, but not a prohibitive favorite had she been here. They're the women in lanes 3, 4, and 5, where the book would tell you that the race will be decided. June Croft on the left, Great Britain in lane 3, Mary Waite, and Cynthia Woodhead. Donna De Verona, Waite looked very happy.
She did. I've never seen anyone so calm and collected and outgoing right before an Olympic final, smiling and waving to the crowd. Cynthia Woodhead, right before the race, said to me, Donna, I'm nervous. This one's so important to her. False start.
In case you have not been with us earlier in the swimming competition, the false start rule is as follows. The field is allowed 2 false starts. Does not matter which swimmer initiates the false start. No one will be disqualified for the first 2. But on the 3rd false start, regardless of whether the swimmer has been involved in any previous false starts, the swimmer who initiates the 3rd one is disqualified. And of course, for every false start thereafter, the swimmer who initiates will be disqualified. There is the field once again. Lane 1 will be at the top of your screen. Lane 8 is at the bottom. The world record is 1 minute, 57 and 75 100ths. The Olympic record, 1 minute, 58 and 33 100ths.
Mary Waite, that's Mary Waite drying off right there. These swimmers are lean, in shape, body weight to strength. Sippy's got to be thinking, 4 years ago, I had 4 chances to win a gold. Now this is my last and only chance, the 1984 Olympics.
That's right. In 1980, she didn't get to go to Moscow. She had qualified for the American Olympic team in the 100, the 200, the 400, and the 800-meter freestyle.
Shirley Babashoff's the only other American to have qualified for the same amount of events during Olympic competition.
200 meters, 4 lengths of the pool. Cynthia Woodhead is small, but she is a fighter. And as they take off from the blocks, the woman in lane 6, Michelle Pearson of Australia, has gone to the lead. So has Anne-Marie Verstappen in Rosmalen, Holland, who is down in lane 7. She is out there early, and in fact, as they get ready to touch at 50 meters, it is Verstappen who holds the lead. Waite has dropped a little bit back. Woodhead is up among the leaders.
Okay, the splits, 28.40, Cynthia Woodhead. 28.40 is about a second off her world record split, but close to her American record split, 28.13. Sippy Woodhead You've got to depend on Sippy for the second half of the swim, and she's thinking of her 6-speed kick and her pull-through, concentrating on her technique at this point.
She looks good, Donna. She has moved into about a half body length lead as they get ready to touch at 100 meters. Waite has moved up into contention for second place. They are well off of world record pace at this moment. But right now, that is not what's important. Cynthia Woodhead is trying to fill in the lone gap in her long and illustrious swimming career. It's the only honor she's ever missed. She's just like Tracy Calkins in that regard. And Mary Waite is pushing her very hard in lane 4.
Cynthia Woodhead, however, is ahead of her American record split. She said to me earlier she wanted to go out in a 58 and come back in a 60. That means she's going 100 at 58 and repeating just 2 seconds slower. Got to bring it home and concentrate on her 6-speed kick. And here comes Mary Waite right next to her.
Been a long time since Cynthia Woodhead has swum close to her world record, the former world record of 1:58.23. She's trying to do it right now, but right now the battle is in lanes 4 and 5 between Mary Waite and Cynthia Woodhead. The American women who went 1 and 2, or 1 and 1, I should say, in the 100-meter freestyle are about to do it again in the 200 meters. The others are coming on, but as they touch, it is Mary Waite who touched first. A mild upset, and the young woman who looked so relaxed and confident before the race demonstrated that we were exactly right about her external appearance as she swam a beautiful come-from-behind effort to nip Woodhead at the wall. Cynthia Woodhead will get the silver medal, and that's not too bad when you consider all that she's been through. But all the happiness in the world belongs at this moment to a 19-year-old woman from Mercer Island, Washington, who has just swum the race of her life and won an Olympic gold medal.
Okay, Mary Waite at the top of the screen, Sippy Woodhead at the bottom. 5 meters to go. You can see the red mark. She just pulls in, kicks as much as she can, 6-speed kick. Sippy Woodhead saw her, tried to dig in, must have just run out of energy, especially in that third 50. And it goes to Mary Waite, but first and second place now belongs to the Americans during this Olympic.
Mary Waite is making friends with everybody here right now, and this is a great moment for the American women swimmers. We'll be back with more after this.
Of the 23rd Olympiad continue.
Final results in the women's 200-meter freestyle. Mary Waite, the gold medal with a time that makes her the 5th fastest swimmer ever in the event. Cynthia Woodhead will get a silver medal, and Anne-Marie Verstappen of Holland has won a 2nd bronze medal to go with the one that she got chasing Steinseifer and Hogshead home in the 100-meter freestyle. Right now, both Mary Waite and Cynthia Woodhead are downstairs with Diana Nyad. Diana?
They're here, the gold and the silver. Mary, you just said, God, I'm glad that's over. Why?
Because I've been waiting for it all my life, and it's finally over with.
You swam a very intelligent race. You cruised that 100. Everybody said at the beginning you were standing relaxed and smiling on the blocks, and you took it out at a good pace and came back hard. Did you have that pre-thought?
Thanks. Well, yeah, I wanted to hang with the crowd and everything. Randy told me to go a little bit faster on my second 50 and third 50, but I think Sippy was too far ahead of me to catch her on the second 50, but like in trials, she said, I tried to kick as hard as I could my last 50. I remember that, and that's what I tried to do.
Well, congratulations. Sippy, millions of Americans have been watching you for years, since you were a little tiny kid, and you're going to be there tonight up on that medal stand. Are you proud of yourself?
I'm happy that I'm here, and I'm happy I came back and did this, and I'm real happy with my time, even though it wasn't my best. It's the best I've done in, what, 5 years, so that's great, and it's a pretty emotional time, I think. I'm real happy to be here, though. And we're all so proud of her, too.
What was it that kept you motivated? I've mentioned before, talking to Tracy, that it's so difficult in a sport like this to go over your peak and keep working. It's a difficult training sport. What is it that's so tough about you inside that you just wanted to be here tonight and getting your medal around your neck?
Well, I knew that I had this ability because I did hold a world record, and you don't ever lose that. You just forget how you did it, and I knew it was there all the time, and even though it was discouraging not doing my best, I hung with it because I knew it was there, and it just, I think when you get older, you have to figure out different ways. You can't stick with your old routines.
Well, it was a gutsy race and a gutsy finish for both of you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
What a lovely gesture by Mary Waite, that little touch on the shoulder behind Cynthia Woodhead's neck. And that shows you, I believe, just a small demonstration of the kind of camaraderie that seems to exist right now among all the American swimmers who are here. So once again, the United States has won a sprint freestyle race for the women, and we'll be coming back for more swimming finals a little bit later. Now let's go back to Jim McKay in the studio. You are looking at a group assembled on top of a building adjacent to the Olympic pool on the Southern Cal campus with the Canadian flag. They're waiting for their man, world record holder Alex Baumann, 400-meter individual medley. Let's meet him.
Sudbury, Ontario, 350 miles north of Toronto, used to be known for only two things, nickel mining and the pollution it created. But since a super stack as tall as the Empire State Building cut down local pollution, Sudbury's been showing off its better side. A new science center and a swimmer whose father became a professor at Laurentian University here after fleeing Czechoslovakia in 1968. Alex Baumann is entering his senior year as a political science major at Laurentian, but his mind is all swimming.
My priorities right now is swimming first, education second, so whatever, you know. It's hard sometimes in school because when you miss 3 weeks on a tour or something like that, you have to catch up, especially in things like computer science or something like that, where, you know, you miss one day and you're out.
Swimming is Alex's top priority, but he doesn't take it too seriously, according to his physiology professor, who is his coach, Yeno Tehani.
He's a regular clown. He pulls stunts that sometimes I wonder how he dreams about those, like coming in here early in the morning and screaming as Tarzan used to do, you know, just to break the monotony of the workout and things. So I don't think it's a weakness. I think it's a sort of a diversion.
Alex, whose nickname Sasha is tattooed over the maple leaf on his chest, has needed diversions from training and from personal tragedies as well. After his brother's suicide in 1981 and his father's death last year, he leaned heavily on his coach.
He's helped me so many times, especially when my father died, and he's been very close to me, and it's kind of been getting to a closer relationship than when we first started out.
Tehani has coached Alex from age 9 to world records in the 200 and 400-meter individual medleys. His prized pupil spent 2 months as a freshman at Indiana University, but returned when a chronic shoulder injury became too painful to continue training there. He came home to Sudbury, where a special strengthening program built up muscles around his loose shoulder joints to minimize the pain.
If I can come back from a shoulder injury or a personal problem, I'm stronger than I was before. And if I can, you know, just maintain that, I'll be okay for the Olympics or whatever, in anything in life, really.
Living at home with his mother, who swam competitively before her flight from Czechoslovakia, Alex depends on her now for practical and emotional support.
She supports me quite a bit in everything I do. She cooks a lot and everything. She does mostly everything around the house because I'm so lazy once I come back from workout. You know, when I'm down a bit or something like that, she gets me up, so it helps me quite a bit also.
For Alex, like his adopted city, the rough times are now behind him.
That profile, of course, was narrated by our colleague Jack Whitaker, and now Alex Baumann is on the deck of the pool. He will be swimming in lane 4. As you learned there, he is the world record holder in both the 200 and 400-meter individual medley races. Now, there is the man who might challenge him most closely in this race. The one with the shaved head is Jeff Kostoff, 18 years old, from Upland, California, a student at Stanford University. He's the Silky Sullivan of the 400-meter individual medley. You can expect him to fall way behind in the first 200 meters of the race. His background is as a distance freestyler, and in all likelihood, he'll be trying to catch the leaders, Baumann among them, as they swim the last 100 meters of freestyle. There was Alex Baumann, who will be swimming in lane 4, and now stepping up onto his block to say hello to the crowd will be Kostoff, who has shaved off a little bit more hair since he appeared with that look for the first time we've ever seen him that way this morning in qualifying. And next to Kostov is one of the other 3 swimmers in the race with a chance to win the gold. There are really 5 swimmers here who at least can be considered contenders for the gold medal. In lane 6 is Ricardo Prado of Brazil and Southern Methodist University, who is the former world record holder in the event. In lane 7 is Jesse Vasayo of the United States, who held the world record in the event for 4 years, won the world championship in 1978. And Vasayo, like Kostov, has also shaved his head, and I've never seen Jesse that way before either. And there is the field in its entirety. Now the 5 who can win: Giovanni Franceschi of Italy in lane 3, Baumann, of course, in 4, Kostov in 5, Prado in 6, Vasayo in 7. Expect Ricardo Prado to go out to a big lead on the butterfly leg, because Mark Spitz, he is a world-class butterflyer. Incidentally, they swim 100 meters of butterfly, 100 meters of backstroke, 100 meters of breaststroke, and then 100 meters of freestyle. And there is Jesse Vasayo, who would have been the favorite at Moscow in 1980. And there is the 2-shot of the men in the middle of the pool, Baumann and Kostov. Mark Spitz, should be a heck of a race.
Absolutely. Jesse Vasayo and Kostov are really psyched. I've never seen this done in a long time, where 2 men in the same final from the same team in America would actually shave their head. They must have corroborated on that, because it's unbelievable. They're really psyched. Look to see Giovanni Franceschi from Italy to go out in the lead. He had the fastest prelim time at the end of the 100 meters, which is the first leg of this event, the butterfly.
I disagree with you. I'd be surprised to see Franceschi ahead of Prado after the butterfly, because Prado will be swimming in the 200-meter butterfly here in the meet. Maybe you know more than I do about Franceschi.
Well, Franceschi in the morning went 59.06, and Prado went 59.44. So there was about 31/100ths of a second difference in time. So Franceschi, according to the morning trials, should be out in the lead, and he is.
Well, you look good so far, Mark.
It looks like he's doing just that right now.
That's
right. He swims butterfly very well. He's very relaxed. He's the type of swimmer that's not afraid to go out, because he knows that his best event is the butterfly, and he has to build up a lead right now in that.
This is a very tactical race. Each man has different strokes in which he is most proficient. They try to marshal their energy to take maximum advantage of those occasions when they are swimming their stroke. So, for instance, Prado, who is going to lead now after 100 meters with Franceschi in second place, is trying to take this butterfly to the bank, because he knows he will lose a little ground in the second 200 meters of the race. They are under world record pace as they turn at 100 meters and go to the backstroke leg. And now you would begin to expect Jesse Vasayo of the United States in lane 7 to come on. Jesse is a world-class backstroker.
Jesse's got to make his move right now. If he's going to win this race or even have a chance for a medal, he's got to make a move right now, because his breaststroke, which will be the next leg, Jim, is a little weaker than his backstroke. There's Jesse right now, swimming very nice, very in control. You can see how perfect his head is. It doesn't move faltering from side to side, which would cost you some time. Your shoulders would drop and you would dig yourself into the water. Now, I would expect Baumann to start making a move now. He's got to make a move, because he's got to get closer to the pack, up in the lead, to set a world record time. The world record splits are very insignificant here, Jim, because the lead changes so often. They have their specialties. Baumann's specialty will come now in the breaststroke and then in the freestyle. And Kostov, who I would expect to have been off by 2 seconds at the end of the 100 fly, was more than 2 seconds off, and he's almost out of it.
They are well under world record pace, but as Mark Spitz points out, it is a bit misleading, because that is Prado who is ahead of the world record pace established by Baumann in his world record swim. So it is Prado in lane 6 who is in the lead. And now you begin to see Alex Baumann in the middle of the pool coming on. There is one important fact to note about Baumann, despite all of his accomplishments. He holds both world records in the individual medley races, but because of various reasons, including the death of his father, he missed the World Championship 2 years ago, missed the Pan American Games last summer. So he is not as experienced in big international meets as his credentials would initially lead you to believe.
Baumann looks very strong. He's moved up considerably on Prado in lane number 6. Now Baumann, again, is the world record holder. Kostov has had a difficult time trying to make up the distance that he lost in the first part of the race. He likes to lag back, but right now, being about 4 body lengths behind is going to be a little bit too much, in my estimation, to make it up with only 100 meters to go in freestyle, because Baumann, in the prelims, mowed him down in the last 20 meters, and he had a lot of strength in that race in the morning.
That's right. Kostov moved ahead of Baumann toward the end of their preliminary heat. Baumann clearly made a conscious decision that he did not want to lose his qualifying heat, and he came back in the last 20 meters to get Kostov. Unless he pulls an amazing comeback, Jeff Kostov is going to be out of this. Baumann is now well in front in the middle of the pool. Only Prado is still within hailing distance of him. And you are probably watching a world record performance by Alex Baumann of Canada.
Still in the hunt for third place is Robert Woodhouse of Australia. The Australians have come to the Olympic Games well rested. They're swimming very well, and he's in third place right now. But it's Baumann who is being pressured right now by Ricardo Prado.
Here comes Prado again. This is a bit of a surprise. You did not expect Ricardo Prado to come on like this.
And Jesse Vassallo in his comeback has a chance for a bronze right now.
That would be a tremendous accomplishment for Jesse, who's been through as many trials and tribulations as any other American swimmer over the past 6 years. But now as they come down to the wall, remember the world record is 4:17:53. Baumann touches in 4:17:41. So Alex Baumann has won the gold medal and has broken his own world record. Silver will go to Ricardo Prado of Brazil, and Jesse Vassallo was just out-touched for the bronze medal as 18-year-old Robert Woodhouse of Australia continues the stunning performance by that nation's swimmers by gathering the bronze. And up on the building, across the way, adjacent to this pool, a couple of hundred Canadians are waving that flag in celebration.
We've got 100% with world records in men's events, and this is really exciting for the Olympic Games. It doesn't come any finer.
A non-boycott affected event, no question about it. As you probably saw, the 5 best individual medley swimmers in the world battling out, and there's no question now that Baumann is the best. We'll be back with more swimming later on.